What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy One Lion with the Lion's Den Gaming, coming at you with a salvage video, also known as hole scraping. We're gonna go ahead and give you a shotgun class real quick on the Drake Vulture and some of the just basics on hole scraping and salvaging. Right. All right. First thing that you're gonna need that you want to make sure that you have is that you have a tractor beam with a multi-tool. Okay, so you need the multi-tool and double check, make sure you have your tractor beam. Okay, um, yeah, so you take off from whatever location, wherever you spawning at. On this one, I want to say that we were right over at Port Tressler. Okay, one of the things that you want to make sure is that your auto eject is on. I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, but yeah, you want to make sure your auto eject is on, and if you ever have to refill your salvage tool for your repair, this is where you can get that stuff at. You just click on there, and it will dispense 15%. Okay, 15%. Remember that. 15%, and it will eject a little canister that you can use with your multi-tool, and that's what you can use to repair, your ship. Okay, so nothing new here. You're getting your ship powered up and get going. All right, so one of the things that you want to do is you want to go ahead now. All I'm going to talk about here today is just about in space, right? I'm not talking about salvage or wrecks or anything surface wise. There are some on the surface, not really sure exactly where they are. Okay, but yeah, there definitely are some. Okay, but again, that's not what I'm going to be covering. I'm talking about in space. So, okay, so in space right now, most of them are going to be around Lagrange points. Okay, there's going to be wrecks until they come out with other missions where you go up to salvage wrecks. Then, obviously, any ships that are out there that that are abandoned or destroyed or whatever, you kind of see some guys pew-pewing or whatever, and they're fighting, or somebody all that forward or whatever. There's some ships out there. What I did not test, and I did get tempted to do it, is any white ships. Okay, so as in later on in the video, you're gonna see and come across another dude that was over at one of the points, and the ship, the Vulture, was white, meaning it was basically abandoned but hadn't been claimed yet, right? So I wasn't really sure. Can I go ahead and salvage that ship, right? Because it may get you a crime stat. So I haven't tested that. We'll probably test it out. So anyhow, you head over to one of the, like I said, the Lagrange points. You're gonna have wrecks, 3 different types of wrecks you're gonna see, or different types of wrecks you're gonna see is all different types of ships, large ships, small ships. On this one, unfortunately, the only thing I really came across were the Avenger Titans. Okay, but there are bigger ships out there. Obviously, there's the the 890. That I've seen. There's the C2s that I've seen, and then there's also wreckages that you'll come across that have multiple pieces of material. Okay, now when you see that, and I haven't tested that out, and as we progress, we'll figure this out. But there's no difference between the materials when you're salvaging the ships, right? But there is a difference on how fast that material, I guess maybe the density or whatever, but it's basically that refined material, or not refined, the material that fills up the one SCU box, okay? Because actually it was while we were trying to get into the server yesterday, which was just crazy. All right, and we was actually watching Salty Mike's video, and in Salty Mike's video, as he was streaming, he actually came across a piece of metal wreckage, okay, that didn't seem like it was that big, okay, but he could almost, I think he did wind up filling up about 4 SCU of material. So this stuff was really dense, and it filled up. It filled up the SU boxes really fast. So again, I haven't really salvaged a bunch of different ships. So as you're doing it, just be on the lookout for that, because obviously there is a difference between it. Okay, so when you're going in there and salvaging, now when you go in there, your keybinds, if you're on mouse and keyboard, okay, it's kind of the same as in the mining mode. You know, you hit M for salvage mode, okay, and then so you have the M key, and then you have the G key for gimbaled, okay, the gimbaled mode, and then you have I want to say it's like left shift or left control, right mouse button, and left mouse button. Left mouse button is to fire your mining laser or your salvage beam, okay, and then mouse wheel up and down to get the distance and everything. So anyways, the gimbal mode and everything is basically to articulate the laser beams and everything, and to widen the beams, or widen, yeah, basically to widen your beams up and down, left and right, horizontal, vertically. Basically, and then you have two stages of this, where we'll get into it as we're messing around here with it. But yeah, you just want to kind of keep that in mind, okay? When you're getting in there, and to switch those, like I said, it's right mouse button, okay? And it switches between, it basically, what you want to do is you want to pay attention to the efficiency, okay? Especially with the vulture, because it does take longer with the vulture when you're like on an Avenger Titan or something like that. Again, I'm going to keep referring back to the Avenger Titan because those are the only wrecks that I kind of came across, all right? I didn't fly around. I was looking for something other than the Avenger Titan. That's kind of why the video wound up going a little bit longer, because I wasn't really trying to fill up the vulture. I wasn't trying to fill it up and everything. I was just trying to get maybe a few boxes and then go sell and see what they're selling for. You know, to see, it's like, you know, is the hype really real? Because everybody was like, hey, this stuff is it's just as much as quantanium, right? Or is it as much as refined quantanium or unrefined quantanium? You know, who knows? But you know, with the issues with wave one and the server, and servers going out, then MFDs going out and everything, and that's basically what happened to me on day one, wave one. MFDs wound up going out, wasn't able to sell, so I was like, just go back in here and shoot a video. And I just basically shot the video. I didn't do no commentary, and I was just gonna basically, I'll just do a voiceover later and whatnot. So what I'm doing here now is I'm basically just pinging, trying to find trying to find a wreck site. So this is basically like if you have done any kind of mining out there, it's basically the same thing, okay? You can go into mining mode or into your radar mode, scanning mode, and as you get closer, you'll be able to scan. And then you'll see. I think a ship is like you'll see the density or whatever and whatnot, and you'll be able to tell. Okay, and then obviously you'll be able to see like this one here. That's a wreck, right? It doesn't look like an asteroid. The icon comes up, and you can see that that's a wreck. And as you get closer, the scanning now, it says that it's an Avenger Titan. You're like, okay, cool. So I go past these, because I am trying to look for something other than an Avenger Titan, okay? But unfortunately, I didn't find it, okay? So one of the other things that you want to keep in mind, okay, this is what you want to kind of keep in mind also, is these Lagrange points, okay? These Lagrange points, and with cargo, okay, I'm just going to tell you, you need to have like really good situational awareness. Look at chat. Even if you're a kind of person like doesn't care about chat or whatever, look into chat often and see what's happening around the area. Because I'm gonna tell you, people are gonna be complaining. There are people who are griefing, or people are blowing people up, and people are extorting and all this with this whole new soft death. You don't want to do, okay, is you don't want to be sitting out here doing all your little hole scraping and all this other stuff, and then there's somebody sitting off in the distance with a stealthy ship, okay, and then just waiting for you to fill up your hole, and then come in and get you, right? So you're gonna be really salty about it. So make sure you got security, you got some buddies or something, or you got a bug out plan or something. Don't just go willy-nilly. And then definitely in chat, if they're sitting there saying, hey man, there's some 890 wrecks over here, because if they know it, then pirates know it, okay? And trust me, pirates are sitting there waiting just like salvagers and miners are waiting, okay? So they can't wait to come out there and take your stuff, right? Especially on the white. May not be as prevalent in the PTU, all right, but when it goes live, I would almost sit there and say it's like, definitely for the first few weeks, it's gonna be like the Wild Wild West out there in Stanton. So I don't know. This is just a tip from your Uncle Larry. Okay, so here we go. We get over to the Avenger Titan Rex site. Okay, you hit the M key to activate the salvage laser. Okay, and then from there, you mouse wheel up and down, okay, to increase and decrease the distance between the two lasers, your left and your right laser, okay? And then you can, believe it's left control, right mouse button to control either going up and down or left and right. So again, it's just the space in between the lasers, okay? Then you gotta kind of play with it, get comfortable between the distances that you're gonna be between the ship, all right? Now you have the two modules, okay? The two modules are basically just your Singe module and your Andrade or Andrade module, and those are basically just going to be how wide the beams are and how quickly they're going to be able to process the whole material. Now, and also the efficiency. So you're going to see here in a minute, I'm going to lean into and I'm going to zoom in, okay, and you're going to see the difference, okay? So now the efficiency is the big thing, okay? That's the big thing, but it also, remember what I was telling you before, it's going to matter the type of material that the hull is, because like I was saying before with Salty Mike, that was scraping that big piece of metal. Well, it wasn't really that big, but winds up getting a whole bunch of material from that little piece, okay? So if you're doing it the right way, okay, you should get one SU box, okay, just about an SU box for one Titan, all right? But you can see how the color changes right there on the wing, okay, and how fast it's scraping it, okay? So, and then the centerpiece of the Titan is yellow. I think that's got to do with the density. So you're gonna want to go really for like the green or the yellow. The red is gonna strip actually pretty fast and whatnot. So again, I'll probably get in there a little bit later on today, kind of mess around with it and try to figure out some stuff, all right? But again, as you start messing around with it, you'll see the left laser and the right laser. It's going to give you the valid, invalid, okay, and the percentage left to be able to be scraped, okay? So right now you can kind of see I'm just kind of playing around and messing around, trying to get a feel for, what's a good distance, is it processing it fast enough, okay, playing around with the spacing of the lasers and whatnot. All right, so I'm not being as thorough as I can be. And then the other thing is that, again, is you got to be careful. You're a lot closer than you think, okay? So if you're not careful, you can wind up bumping into whatever you're scraping, okay? But again, like I said, you want to make sure you're on the top module, which is the Singe module, okay? That's going to give you the best. That's going to wind up giving you the best outcome, okay? It's going to be slower, but you're going to get the most material to fill up the fastest, if that makes sense, okay? So I'm just kind of, again, messing around with it, trying to get everything scraped around, okay? So from experience, yeah, I'll scrape some Titans and everything like that, but they're probably not as profitable, okay? Okay, so now if you can get some of these other ships with a different type of materials, that's probably going to be a lot better, okay? That's just my opinion on that one. All right, so we'll just keep scraping away on this one. Get this one all done up. See what else we can wind up getting. But again, like I said, if you look at the wing portion, the center of the ship, you'll see the color changes. And I would say pay attention to that, when you're out there, and see how quickly your stuff will fill up. So I'm being a little bit nitpicky here. I'm trying to get like every little bit because I kind of know that the Avenger is only going to give me like one box. And like, again, I was really just trying to fill like one or two boxes up and then get going. So yeah, this wind up taking a lot longer. And in the PTU, you still have a greater risk of 30K MFDs going out, and after sitting there for a good, I'd say almost 3 hours just trying to get into the server, man. I was just like, hey man, let me just get in here, get this footage, man, and get back out and rock on and do some other stuff maybe. But yeah, I wound up getting lucky enough to get this stuff done, because as soon as I started heading back, man, sure enough, the MFDs went out. So I was like, oh, this sucks. So again, you can see the underbelly, the underbody, that most of that is all yellow now, right? And stuff. So, and you can see how the cargo is, is filling up. All right. And then for each section that you're processing, on the right side, you see the vehicle hull and then the cargo. So the vehicle hull is just that section. So once that's all depleted, you're good. You don't need to keep just messing around with it. Okay, so you'll just keep processing that stuff and scraping it away till it's all gone. Or you've gotten what you came there for. So now when you once you wind up getting the first container filled, right? And at the beginning when I got into the ship, what I did is I looked and I made sure that the processing station there had the little check mark on, meaning that it would auto eject. So you want to make sure, especially if you're solo or whatever, well, you'll mostly be solo in that one anyways, but you want to make sure the auto eject is on, right? Because once you've gotten enough material, it is going to it'll eject that SCU container. Okay, and from what I gather, it's like you might want to stop processing until the new container is placed. But it'll eject the container. It'll be sitting right there in front of the machine, and then you can just keep on processing, right? So now when the second container is filled, okay, then you definitely need to stop, because nothing else it's not going to do anything else, all right? Because it has nowhere to eject it. So you'll have to stop, you'll have to go down there, and that's when the multi-tool comes into play, okay? Because if you don't have a multi-tool, you would not be able to move that one SCU container and put it on the cargo grid. Now, you do have a cargo grid. The cargo grid is made up where you can do 2 boxes wide and 3 boxes long, okay? So you'll basically have 6 boxes, and you stack them, so that's 12 boxes, okay? So you'll have 12 boxes on the cargo grid, plus maybe 1 on the eject, okay? So that's 13 boxes. Now you can put more boxes on there, from what I was told. Again, it's Star Citizen PTU Alpha, whatever you want to say, okay? But yes, you can take the box and set it next to next to the cargo grid. Okay, so some people say don't do it because it bounces around. You know, maybe if you quantum travel or something. I don't know, man. I haven't really tried it yet. I probably will try it another time when the server is a little bit more stable, or once we go to live, I'll try it. You know, I'll fill it up and really see, you know, how stable is it and stuff. And is it gonna bounce around? Is it gonna kill you? Is it gonna blow up? Because sometimes the way the game is, it doesn't like a lot of stuff parked right next to each other or moved right next to each other, and you know, it starts clipping into each other, and then it starts bouncing and ping ponging all around. Okay, so you know, you do it at your own risk. All right, the last thing you want to do is just have everything filled up, and then just because you know you try to squeeze some extra stuff in there, it starts blowing up, right? So you just got to do what you got to do. You'll figure it out. So again, you see me out here, I'm messing around and just trying to get what's the best spacing and stuff, best feel. And then here it is, cargo container's full. Okay, kind of wait. Let it switch out. Okay. And now it's switched out. So here I am messing around kind of with the gimbal modes. Now, one of the things with the gimbal mode that I would say is, okay, you can kind of mess around the auto gimbal and the gimbal, but you might be in a tight space to where gimbal mode would be better. You know, to me, it seems like it's just easier to move the ship with the lasers, but you might be in a position where you can't, because it's like, I don't know, up against something and you don't want to bump into it or whatever, or crash into it. So you turn around and don't, you know, use the different gimbal, okay, to move the lasers instead of the ship. Okay, maybe in the reclaimer it'll probably be better to use the different gimbal modes, because you don't want to mess around and move, you know, especially if you're soloing. All right, so you want to keep it stable, move, process as much as you can, then have the pilot move or you move and whatnot. So now what I'm trying to do is, now I'm trying to find another wreck site or some other material, because I'm really trying to find this other material to figure out, you know, does it process better. So I already have one box full, so I'm like, again, I'm trying to cut the video down, so I'm gonna wind up going to another site over there. I said, trying to find a different spot. So we'll come back to that one. I'll just cut to this next one. Yeah, so here's where I come up on the Vulture. All right, and you'll see this again, you know, a bunch of ships that are unclaimed or whatever and whatnot. And yeah, man, comment in the comments and stuff if you know. All right, see, I wasn't too sure if excuse me, still coming over that low code. Yeah, I wasn't too sure if that was going to be the if it was going to give me a crime stat. So again, I wasn't trying to get one, but yeah, I do come across that Vulture and stuff, and I was tempted, and then my buddy Blacksail, he was in there with me, and he was like, man, you know, just stick to the plan there, Lion, just stick to the plan. So I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. I'm gonna just go ahead and finish this up real quick. But I was desperately looking for these spots. So I'm sure, you know, as the weeks go by, man, people are gonna figure out the little tucky spots and on what stuff to, you know, what's the best stuff, you know, best ships to salvage. Where the goodies at? You know, same as like the Quantanium and Laranite and all this other good stuff that's out there. You know, so it'll come out. You know, people will figure it out, man. And you know, you just share the wealth and stuff. So again, it's like, you know, at the end, it's still a game. I know people are gonna get mad. I'm probably gonna get mad too. At times from, you know, dumb stuff, you know, your game crashing or whatever, some people coming around and smacking you around or whatever and whatnot. But, you know, it is what it is, man. That's what the game is. Some people, you know, they like it. Some people, they hate it. So, you know. Let me see, is that it? Yep. So that, like I said, that was the Vulture, man. So, again, you're gonna see people. What is that insurance fraud, right? They're just like, what's keeping me from spawning all my ships and just salvaging all the ships? You're right. You can. So like I said, I was looking and attempted. So yeah, man, you guys check it out and see if is the whole better to scrape off of a combat ship, a salvage ship, or some of them might be better. 890 Starfarers, C2s, and then we'll start figuring out, I guess, which ships are the best ones to go after. So, but anyways, well, cut to the next one here, and cut to the next one. We'll finish this one up, and then we'll show you what happens when you sell. All right, so here we go. Make it back over to the next Titan, right? So you just see me do this one. This one shouldn't even take that long. It's when they get filled up pretty quick. Yeah, so one thing that I did kind of forget to do, and you can do it in the in the keybinds. You have this thing now where it's mainly for like race mode or whatever and whatnot, but really it's for whatever you want. You got a stopwatch. So if you go into keybinds, it's right there. So I can't remember. You'll see it in there. It'll show stopwatch, okay, and you can map it to whatever if you got controllers or whatever. It's really cool because people can you can have some bona fide competitions now because you can actually turn that stopwatch on, and it'll actually come up like right on your HUD there on the left side of your speed and VTOL and all that gear, landing gear, somewhere up in that area. It'll show, and yeah, it'll show up and stuff. So yeah, it'd be really cool to kind of see, hey, how fast can you get, who has the record, on getting a prospector or mole or whatever, getting it filled up or whatever and whatnot. Who can make the most money in the most amount of time or fastest run, and whatnot. So it'll be pretty cool, man, what some of these people will come up with, man. Trust me, you'll see some videos out there with some dudes coming out and making their own little tracks or something like that. So it'll be pretty cool to see. So So one of the things here, while I'm still processing and scraping the rest of this little Titan off and everything, but one of the things is currently the only place where you can sell this stuff is at a CBD, all right, a Central Business District, okay, which is the only areas that I know of, okay. Well, yeah, the only ones that have them currently is Lorville, okay, Area 18, New Babbage, and Orison. Okay, Grimhex doesn't have one. You can't sell them at. You can't sell it at the. Can't sell them at the admin offices. Doesn't show up. Okay, so for the Vulture, it's not an issue. But I was thinking about it with the Reclaimer because I was like, man, with the Reclaimer, you'd have to, land the Reclaimer, planet side, which, I mean, I guess now it's not too bad. They've improved the VTOL on it and stuff, and then Orison is not too bad either. So, yeah, but yeah, you got to kind of keep that in mind there. And the only way to spawn the Reclaimer, obviously, is from the cities or Grimhex. And again, if you could sell at Grimhex, it wouldn't really be that bad. But again, Grimhex is not place where you really, really, really want to be, right? So you want to be a little careful going out there. So can't wait to start seeing the memes. Can't wait to see the memes, man. You know, any other time I probably would have just go ahead and just moved along. But again, it's just trying to get this thing here filled and messing around and just trying to figure out like what areas are, you know, got processed, didn't get processed, and whatnot. Lighting is not too good. Wish they would have put lights more up on the top, you know, where it's a little bit more visible, but you know, where you have, you know, your work area, but you know, it is what it is. You'll see this here finishing up here pretty soon. I'll go down there. You'll see how it works with the cargo and everything. I'll move the two boxes there, the two SU containers. Still goofing around and trying to get this little spacing with the lasers and whatnot. But yeah, it just really depends on the type of ship, and then, you know, either they're going to be next to each other or on the top of each other, and then spaced out a little bit, you know, maybe a half a meter or something like that, or a couple meters, something like, you know, to so they're just barely touching, overlapping, and whatnot. And you can make that adjustment with the mouse or whatever. I was kind of messing around because I had the keybinds mapped to my joysticks there, my thumbsticks or whatnot on my throttle, and then on my joystick and stuff. So I'm still trying to get used to that also. So. Yep, just a little bit more, man. We're just trying to get some little bit of stuff. So this is what I'm saying. It's like when you get to the Titan, man, it's really, really tight. If you want to make sure, you know, that you're on the right mining modules. You're on the right module. You have the right module selected and everything like that. So you're as efficient as can be, especially if you're penny pinching. All right. So here, you know, I try to make my way back over to Microtech, because I figured, I was like, you know, game plan is just like, man, I'm just gonna land at the Commons and make my way over there and whatnot. So I figured while I'm in Quantum, I'm gonna go ahead and move the boxes. You know, so while you quantuming, I don't know if you've noticed it or if it's just the Vulture or some of the other ships, man. What you want to look out for is the delay. There's a significant delay on when you're hitting the B button or activating your quantum before the ship actually jumps. And if you're not careful, you'll mess around and wind up canceling the jump. I did that several times, man. So it's not a big deal, man. It's just something that I just noticed. Just kind of keep you guys informed about that. So again, yeah. So there's the cargo. So you can see what I'm doing there. I'm picked it up, moved it, you know, just so you remember, some of you guys don't know or don't know, if you hold down R, okay, if you hold R, you can spin the box around. So you can mouse wheel forward and back to bring the cargo in and out, but you can also spin it. So as you're stack, it'll help you stack if you didn't know. So again, you got to hit that eject button. Before, yeah, because I was a little confused on that one, because I was like, I thought it was supposed to auto eject, but yeah, it does auto eject, but after that you got to you have to do it yourself. So you have to hit the eject for the next box to come out. So here, this is something that I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it when I get down there. And then I just remembered something. I was like, hey, armistice zone, okay? Armistice zone. Be mindful on armistice zone. Obviously, your tractor beam will not work. So if you still have something sitting on the cargo grid, okay, you want to make sure that you don't, you want to make sure that you're not in armistice zone, because you won't be able to move the cargo container, right? And then the other one is I seen was on some of the wrecks are really close to Lagrange points, and if you, I guess what they have to self-destruct or whatever. So the lasers won't work if you're too close to the Lagrange point also. So just keep that in mind if you're really close to a wreck site or something like that, and you're like, what the hell, why is my laser not working? Okay, so that's one of the things that'll happen. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the CBD terminal, and then we'll get into the selling part. All right, so we make it to the CBD. All right, we're at the terminal. What you'll do is you'll just go ahead and you hit select, your cell, select your ship, and that is, you have your two SCUs. All right, you select your recycled material composite, RMC. You select how many you want, and there we go, 15.39. Okay, so that's how much they go for it. So yeah, so it's like what, seven and some change. All right, so not too bad. There you go. So that's pretty much it, man. So yeah, like I said, if you like it, I cut the video down a little bit, man, so it won't be too long and whatever and whatnot. So yeah, man, if you got any comments, man, leave some comments, leave some suggestions, man, some pointers, man. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, and then I said I'll probably jump on here in a little bit, man, and try to mess around with this reclaimer if the PTU ain't too bad. And if it was like it was last night, man, I probably won't be doing that at all. But yeah, I'll probably go live and mess around with the reclaimer and stuff, man, and see what we can do, man. So hey, thanks for watching, man, and this is One Lion signing off.